Fame, fortune, and power place these stars on a pedestal the world envies. They are celebrated, chased, and adored on stages and screens everywhere. Yet in the face of a ruthless disease, all that glamour means nothing. Cancer, an enemy few expect at the height of success, slips quietly into their lives and strikes without mercy. Battling rare and aggressive forms of the disease, every breath becomes a fight for survival. Many fought with incredible courage, but cancer moved fast and showed no mercy. The 25 stories you're about to hear belong to stars who faced death head-on, standing unbroken, even with cancer's scythe at their throats. Richard Roundtree, the legendary face of Shaft, was the very definition of on-screen strength. Cool, unshakable, and unmistakably masculine, he became a cultural icon whose roles helped redefine black heroes in Hollywood. But behind the image of power was a battle he fought in silence. In September 1993, at the peak of his fame, a routine moment changed everything. While getting ready one morning, Roundtree felt a small lump beneath his left nipple. He dismissed it as harmless, something from his youth. Weeks later, the truth struck like lightning. Male breast cancer, a disease so rare it accounts for less than 1% of all breast cancer cases, and one that typically appears much later in life. He was only 51. Surrounded by studio lights and unfinished contracts, Roundtree chose secrecy. He feared that revealing his diagnosis would shatter the tough guy image Hollywood demanded. In silence, he underwent surgery and endured 6 brutal months of chemotherapy. His body weakened, his strength drained, often confined to bed. He survived. And this time he spoke. Richard Roundtree became one of the first public figures to openly discuss male breast cancer, challenging stigma and redefining what strength truly looks like. But fate wasn't finished. In 2023, pancreatic cancer, linked to the same genetic factors, claimed his life at 81. Behind the legend was a man who fought quietly for decades, proving that true courage isn't just what we see on screen, but the battles no one ever sees. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a name etched into the summit of world basketball. Towering height, flawless technique, relentless endurance. Multiple NBA championships. A scoring record that stood for decades. An untouchable icon of the game. But in late 2008, long after he had left the spotlight, his greatest battle began, not on the court, but inside his own body. Sudden hot flashes. Drenching night sweats. Crushing fatigue that made no sense. At 61, Kareem told himself it was just aging. Then blood tests told a different story. His white blood cell count was dangerously high. The diagnosis came quickly: chronic myeloid leukemia, a rare blood cancer, typically striking older adults. Fear set in. Memories of loved ones lost to leukemia flooded his mind. He wondered if he had only months left. But this was not the end of his story. Medicine was entering a new era. Breakthrough targeted therapies, drugs like imatinib and nilotinib, transformed treatment. No bone marrow transplant. No loss of strength. Just discipline, consistency, and unwavering commitment to care. More than 15 years later, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is still here, healthy, active, writing books, speaking publicly, and inspiring millions. His journey proved a powerful truth. Even a legendary athlete with a lifetime of health can face rare cancer and survive it. Kareem didn't just conquer basketball. He became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the belief that cancer is not always the end. Bob Marley, the undisputed king of reggae, quietly battled a rare and deadly skin cancer while the world danced to his music. The man who carried Jamaican sound across borders became the voice of freedom, resistance, and unbreakable faith, leaving behind timeless songs that shaped an entire genre and secured his place as a global legend. In the summer of 1977, at the height of his career, Marley played soccer daily. After one match, he noticed a strange sore beneath his right big toenail. The pain was minor, easy to dismiss as just another sports injury. But a biopsy shattered that illusion. Doctors diagnosed him with acral lentiginous melanoma, an extremely rare and aggressive skin cancer, especially uncommon in Black people. Often hidden under nails or on the soles of feet, it's difficult to detect early and quick to spread. Doctors urged immediate amputation of the toe to save his life. But Marley's Rastafarian faith viewed the body as sacred and not to be cut. He refused the surgery, agreeing only to remove the nail and surface tissue. That choice proved fatal. The cancer spread rapidly to his lungs, liver, brain, and beyond. Marley sought alternative treatments in Germany, from strict diets to experimental therapies, but nothing stopped the disease. In 1980, he collapsed on stage during a tour. A year later, in 1981, Bob Marley died in a Miami hospital at just 36 years old. A musical genius was gone, leaving behind a legacy of sound, a story of conviction, and a haunting reminder of the painful crossroads between faith and modern medicine. Sidney Poitier was more than a Hollywood star. He was a monument. The first black actor to win an Oscar for a leading role, he shattered racial barriers and reshaped how black dignity was portrayed on screen. His performances carried moral weight, forever changing cinema history. But Poitier's final years were far from the spotlight. Long before his passing, he was battling prostate cancer, a disease that strikes black men at nearly twice the rate and often progresses unpredictably. Careful treatment helped extend his life, but the cancer did not come alone. Alzheimer's slowly followed, erasing memories, dulling the brilliant mind that once transformed Hollywood. Communication faded. Familiar faces became strangers. As if that weren't enough, complications from cancer treatment contributed to heart failure, leaving his body increasingly fragile. 3 devastating illnesses converged, reducing a symbol of strength and dignity to total dependence on others. His final months passed quietly, far removed from the world that once celebrated him. On January 6, 2022, Sidney Poitier died at his Beverly Hills home from multi-organ heart failure, against the backdrop of Alzheimer's and prostate cancer. The man who stood unshaken against society's harshest prejudices was ultimately claimed by age and illness. A powerful reminder that even legends are human. Colin Powell, the Iron General, was brought down not by war, but by a rare blood cancer. One of the most powerful faces in American history, Powell broke barriers as the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, then rose to become U.S. Secretary of State. In moments of global tension, he led with calm authority, decisive judgment, and unmatched credibility. But after leaving the battlefield of politics and power, Powell entered a far more brutal fight. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a rare blood cancer affecting roughly 14 in every 100,000 people, a disease that destroys the immune system, turning ordinary infections into lethal threats. The burden did not end there. He had already survived prostate cancer surgery and was living with Parkinson's disease, a neurological disorder that slowly robbed him of movement and strength. Layer by layer, illness eroded the body of a man once seen as a symbol of American military might. Yet Powell endured with quiet dignity, focusing on treatment and stability, never seeking sympathy. In 2021, following medical advice, he was fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But with an immune system nearly destroyed, the protection was not enough. The virus struck hard, triggering severe complications. On October 18, 2021, Colin Powell died at Walter Reed Hospital at the age of 84. A man who had survived war zones, bombs, and the crushing weight of global power ultimately fell to a virus. His death left behind a sobering truth: strength, power, and fame mean little when faced with illness, and even iron can break. Mr. T, the ultimate symbol of muscle and toughness, was fighting a silent war few ever saw. Born Lawrence Turode, his fierce presence, iconic look, and commanding energy made him a pop culture legend for decades. But in 1995, at the height of his fame, everything changed. Mr. T was diagnosed with cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, also known as mycosis fungoides, a rare, slow-moving yet relentless form of skin cancer affecting only a few people per 100,000 each year. Painful, itchy red patches appeared and vanished, only to return again and again, beginning a long, exhausting battle. Years of chemotherapy and radiation followed. The body once known for unstoppable strength grew worn down. His skin burned and peeled, the itching robbed him of sleep, yet he continued appearing on camera, hiding the damage beneath layers of makeup while carrying deep exhaustion inside. The disease didn't strike all at once. It lingered for decades, slowly draining his stamina, making even simple movements difficult. Still, Mr. T refused to quit. He adapted, stayed disciplined, and fought the illness on his own terms. On screen, Mr. T was the steel-hard warrior who crushed enemies with sheer force. In real life, he endured daily pain from a rare cancer and never let it break him. Through that struggle, Mr. T became more than an action icon. He became a symbol of perseverance, resilience, and unbreakable will, turning private pain into lasting inspiration for millions. Robin Roberts is one of the most trusted faces on American television, the warm, energetic anchor of Good Morning America. For decades, she built her career on credibility, connection, and inspiration. In 2007, her life took a devastating turn when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation pushed her to the edge of exhaustion and fear. She survived. It felt like she had beaten death. But in 2012, fate struck again. The very chemotherapy that saved her life triggered a rare and aggressive blood cancer called secondary myelodysplastic syndrome, or MDS. Her health collapsed rapidly: severe anemia, hair loss, a weakened immune system, and months of isolation. Doctors warned that without a bone marrow transplant, she had only 1 to 2 years left. Then hope arrived through family. Her sister Sally Ann was a near-perfect match. After 10 brutal days of high-dose chemotherapy to destroy her diseased marrow, Robin's body was pushed to its absolute limit. On September 20, 2012, the transplant took place, a true fight for life. Against all odds, Robin Roberts survived again. She chose to share her journey publicly, transforming pain into purpose and fear into strength. Just 6 months later, she returned to television with a radiant smile, a living symbol of resilience, hope, and the power of the human spirit. Lou Rawls, the legendary soul singer with one of the warmest, most unforgettable baritone voices in music history, passed away quietly from lung cancer despite having quit smoking more than 3 decades earlier. Known for his rich, emotional tone and commanding stage presence, Rawls built a long, celebrated career filled with timeless recordings and sold-out performances. He remained a powerful force in soul music for decades, until December 2004, when his world was suddenly shaken by a devastating diagnosis: lung cancer. The shock was profound. Rawls was a non-smoker, a reminder of a lesser-known truth. Nearly 10 to 20% of lung cancer cases occur in people who never smoke, often linked to genetics or environmental factors. Determined to fight, Rawls pursued aggressive treatment, combining conventional medicine with diet changes, supplements, and supportive therapies. But the disease moved swiftly. By May 2005, the cancer had spread to his brain, rapidly weakening his body. Energy faded. Standing on stage became a struggle. Still, Rawls refused to let the world see his pain. He appeared in public whenever he could, wearing his signature smile while silently enduring the toll of illness. As treatments drained his strength, his weight dropped and his voice, once so powerful, began to fade. On January 6, 2006, Lou Rawls passed away at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center at the age of 72. He left behind a brilliant legacy cut short, a voice that had comforted millions, silenced by a rare and relentless disease. His death created an irreplaceable void in soul music and a lasting reminder of an artist who endured quietly with dignity until the very end. Andre Braugher, the revered television icon, died suddenly from aggressive lung cancer. Known for his calm authority and razor-sharp precision, Braugher earned universal respect through award-winning roles in Homicide, Life on the Street, and his unforgettable turn as Captain Raymond Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He embodied intelligence, control, and a rare sense of on-screen security. In the summer of 2023, subtle warning signs appeared: a persistent dry cough, and unfamiliar exhaustion. He dismissed them, blaming years of social cigar smoking. There was no panic, no urgency, until August, when a CT scan changed everything. A large tumor filled his right lung. The biopsy delivered a devastating diagnosis: non-small cell lung cancer. By the time it was discovered, it was already stage 4, having spread to his bones and liver. His family chose privacy. The public was told only that he was resting. Behind closed doors, Brouwer began chemotherapy and immunotherapy, but his once strong body weakened rapidly. Weight fell away. Strength vanished. After just 4 months of fighting, Andre Brouwer passed away on December 11, 2023, at his New Jersey home, while reruns of Brooklyn Nine-Nine played on screens everywhere, and fans continued laughing at the stern captain they never knew they were about to lose. Teresa Merritt, the Queen of Broadway, met a tragic end from a rare and silent killer. A towering presence on stage and screen, she delivered unforgettable performances in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and as the warm, grounded mother in The Best of Times. Her rise was slow, her recognition late, but undeniable, cementing her legacy as a symbol of grit, resilience, and raw talent. In 1979, at 57, her life took a devastating turn. A small black spot appeared on the sole of her foot. She dismissed it as a callus from years in high heels and endless performances. But it didn't fade. It spread, ulcerated, and brought relentless pain. When doctors finally biopsied it, the diagnosis was chilling: late-stage malignant melanoma, an extremely rare skin cancer in Black patients. By then, it had already spread to her lungs and brain. Despite aggressive surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, her body weakened rapidly. Hair fell, weight vanished, and her final months were spent largely in hospital rooms. Outside those walls, applause for her work still echoed through the theater world. On March 26, 1981, in New York City, Teresa Merritt died at just 59. A powerful Black woman who overcame poverty and discrimination to shine was ultimately taken by a disease that hid beneath skin once thought to be a shield. Her death left a profound void on Broadway, and a painful reminder that delayed detection can cost everything. Michelle Thomas was a face American TV audiences adored. She stole hearts as Little Rudy's best friend on The Cosby Show and as Steve Urkel's charming girlfriend on Family Matters. With her innocent smile, youthful beauty, and a career on the rise, Michelle became a beloved youth icon of her generation. But in August 1997, at just 28 years old, everything changed. During a routine yoga session, Michelle felt a hard lump in her upper abdomen. At first, she dismissed it as muscle strain or a minor digestive issue. Days later, an ultrasound revealed the terrifying truth: a massive tumor deep in her stomach. A biopsy confirmed leiomyosarcoma, an extremely rare and aggressive soft tissue cancer that often strikes young women without warning. By the time it was discovered, the tumor had grown to the size of a grapefruit, crushing nearby organs. Emergency surgery removed her entire stomach and part of her intestine. What followed was brutal chemotherapy. Her hair disappeared. Her weight dropped. The familiar face millions recognized slowly faded away. 10 months later, in August 1998, hope was shattered. The cancer returned and spread rapidly to her liver and bones. Her body weakened fast, and even her family struggled to recognize her. On December 23, 1998, just 2 days before Christmas, Michelle Thomas passed away at a Manhattan hospital, held in the arms of her mother and her boyfriend. She was only 30 years old. A life that brought laughter to millions was taken by a disease so rare, most people had never even heard its name. Diana Sands was a Broadway star whose brilliance was stolen far too soon. One of America's finest stage actresses, she was the first to bring Beneatha to life in A Raisin in the Sun, earning a Tony nomination and widespread acclaim. With her talent, charisma, and undeniable presence, many believed Hollywood was only a step away. But in 1971, at just 37, her body began sending terrifying warnings: persistent abdominal pain and rapid, unexplained weight loss. Doctors initially suspected a stomach ulcer, a diagnosis that delayed the truth. When her condition worsened, deeper scans revealed a massive tumor that had been silently growing for months. Surgeons removed nearly 3 kilos of cancer, an astonishing amount. The biopsy confirmed leiomyosarcoma, an extremely rare and aggressive soft tissue cancer that had already spread to her liver, lungs, and bones. Doctors urged chemotherapy, But Diana refused. She didn't want to lose her hair, her image, or the artistic path she had fought so hard to build. Even as her health declined, she kept working, filming The Landlord and preparing for the lead role in Claudine, as if racing against time itself. The disease showed no mercy. It advanced rapidly, beyond all expectations. On September 21, 1973, Diana Sands died in her New York home at just 39 years old, right as she was invited to star in Claudine, a role that later earned an Oscar nomination for her replacement. It was a cruel ending for a remarkable talent, taken from the stage lights just before she could reach her Hollywood peak. Matthew Knowles, Beyoncé's father and the mastermind behind the Destiny's Child empire, built global superstars from small rehearsal rooms. A man defined by control, strategy, and success, until July 2019 when everything changed. At 67, unexplained blood stains began appearing on his shirt and bedsheets. He first blamed intense workouts or medication, but a memory from the 1980s, selling mammography equipment, sent a chill through him. He didn't wait. Tests followed fast. Mammogram, ultrasound, biopsy. The diagnosis was clear: stage 1 male breast cancer, a disease affecting less than 1% of breast cancer cases worldwide. Genetic testing revealed a BRCA2 mutation, putting his daughters and future generations at risk. That same month, he underwent a left mastectomy. No chemo, no radiation. Ironically, the man who once directed every move of his daughters' careers now faced a disease society associates almost exclusively with women, a stigma that keeps many men silent. But Knowles refused to hide. He lost over 13 kilograms, transformed his lifestyle, trained with discipline, and went public, not for sympathy, but to shatter stereotypes. What began as shock became a life-saving message, proving that awareness, not silence, saves lives. Ronnie Hillman, a Super Bowl 50 champion with the Denver Broncos. A running back whose youth, speed, and iron will help fuel one of the most historic seasons in NFL history. In August 2022, at just 30 years old, his life took a devastating turn. What felt like lingering pain from an old injury became relentless abdominal agony, followed by blood in his urine. The tests brought a brutal truth. Ronnie had renal medullary carcinoma, an extremely rare and aggressive kidney cancer, seen almost exclusively in young black individuals with sickle cell trait. By the time it was discovered, the disease had already spread. Doctors spoke in months, not years. His once powerful body declined rapidly. Hospice followed. His family could only pray, day after day, for 4 short months. On December 21, 2022, Ronnie Hillman passed away at just 31 years old. A champion at the peak of his glory, defeated not on the field, but by a rare genetic disease with almost no warning. A bright future stolen mid-stride. Randy Moss. A name that once shook the NFL. A generational wide receiver who rewrote speed, leaping ability, and record books with the Minnesota Vikings and New England Patriots. But in late 2024, after stepping away from the field and settling into his role as an ESPN analyst, Moss faced a far more dangerous opponent. His body sent warning signs: dark urine, yellowing skin and eyes. What first looked like a liver issue quickly became something far worse. Doctors discovered a tumor in his bile duct, wedged between the liver and pancreas. The diagnosis: stage 2 cholangiocarcinoma, a rare, aggressive, and difficult-to-treat cancer. On Thanksgiving 2024, Moss underwent a liver stent procedure, followed by a grueling 6-hour Whipple surgery, removing part of his pancreas, bile duct, gallbladder, and stomach. Chemotherapy and radiation came next. Despite daunting survival odds, Randy Moss chose to fight publicly, stepping away from his career to turn his battle into hope, strength, and awareness for bile duct cancer patients fighting every single day. Jovita Moore. For more than 2 decades, Jovita Moore was Atlanta's trusted news anchor, a pillar of broadcast journalism and a powerful black media icon, admired for her professionalism and genuine warmth. Then, in April 2021, everything changed with terrifying speed. What began as headaches, brain fog, and memory lapses seemed like stress at first. Scans soon revealed the truth: 2 brain tumors. Emergency surgery removed most of them, offering a fragile sense of hope. That hope shattered in July. A biopsy confirmed glioblastoma, the most aggressive form of brain cancer. There was no cure, only treatment to buy time. Radiation and chemotherapy followed, but the disease advanced relentlessly, draining her strength day by day. On October 28, 2021, just 7 months after her diagnosis, Jovita Moore passed away surrounded by family. She left behind her elderly mother, 2 children, a stepchild, and a city in mourning. Atlanta didn't just lose a news anchor, it lost a voice it trusted and loved. Mia Love, a trailblazing congresswoman, was taken by one of the deadliest diseases known to modern medicine, glioblastoma. As the first Black Republican woman elected to Congress, she reshaped Utah politics and became a barrier-breaking symbol of possibility. In early 2022, relentless headaches and sudden dizziness sent her rushing home for tests. An MRI revealed a massive brain tumor. Emergency surgery removed 95%, briefly restoring hope, until the biopsy confirmed the truth. Stage 4 glioblastoma, the most aggressive form of brain cancer, with a life expectancy measured in months. Doctors gave her 10 to 15. Mia refused to surrender. She entered an experimental immunotherapy trial at Duke University. At times, the tumor shrank. Faith returned. She shared her fight publicly, drawing strength from her family, her beliefs, and the hope of survival. But by 2025, the treatment stopped working. The cancer came roaring back. On March 23, 2025, Mia Love passed away at just 49 years old, leaving behind her husband and 3 children. A powerful political voice, silenced in her prime by a disease that still leaves modern medicine nearly helpless. Isabella Strahan, the daughter of Michael Strahan, was just 18 years old when her life took a terrifying turn. A USC freshman with a bright future and a youthful, vibrant spirit, Isabella grew up surrounded by sports, fame, and opportunity. In October 2023, what began as severe headaches, dizziness, and nausea was first dismissed as typical vertigo. But when her condition worsened, an emergency MRI revealed a chilling truth: a large tumor buried deep in her cerebellum. Doctors diagnosed medulloblastoma, an aggressive and extremely rare brain cancer in young adults. On October 27, 2023, just 1 day before her 19th birthday, Isabella underwent a life-saving surgery to remove a golf ball-sized tumor. What followed was a brutal journey: weeks of recovery, 6 weeks of radiation that took her hair and strength, and intense chemotherapy at Duke. Yet Isabella chose courage over fear. She shared her fight publicly and rang the bell to mark the end of radiation, surrounded by family. By mid-2024, Isabella announced she was cancer-free. A young woman standing at the edge of life, pulled back by resilience, unbreakable will, and the unwavering love of those who never let her fall. Edward W. Brooke was the first Black U.S. Senator ever elected by popular vote, a political trailblazer who shattered racial barriers and left a lasting mark on Congress and American history. In September 2002, at age 83, while his power and reputation were at their peak, Brooke discovered a painful lump in his right breast, accompanied by an unusual discharge. He told no one except his son and a few close relatives, leaving behind only handwritten letters before quietly withdrawing from public life. Medical tests later confirmed a shocking diagnosis: male breast cancer, an illness affecting fewer than 1% of men. Brooke underwent a double mastectomy and, remarkably, required no chemotherapy. He chose to recover in solitude, wrestling privately with fear, dignity, and the stigma surrounding a disease rarely associated with men. Years later, Edward W. Brooke broke his silence. By going public, he transformed personal shame into purpose, raising awareness, challenging stereotypes, and urging men to take their health seriously. He lived another 13 years, passing away peacefully from old age, remembered not only as a political icon, but as a man who helped change how the world views disease, masculinity, and courage. George Duke, a jazz genius silenced by a rare blood cancer. One of the world's greatest jazz fusion pioneers, Duke was a master pianist whose brilliance shaped an era. From his groundbreaking collaborations with Frank Zappa and Miles Davis to timeless work alongside Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, his sound defined modern jazz and funk. In 2013, at just 67, Duke began experiencing extreme fatigue and relentless headaches. At first, he blamed decades of touring and long studio hours. But blood tests revealed a far harsher reality: chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a rare and quietly destructive blood cancer. Though typically slow-moving, the disease weakened his body with devastating speed. By late 2013, even as he planned new music, his health rapidly collapsed. On August 5th, George Duke passed away in a Los Angeles hospital. The artist who brought joy, color, and unstoppable energy to the keyboard left the world in silence, claimed by a disease few speak of, leaving an irreplaceable void in the history of modern jazz. Ali Woodson was the legendary late 20th century lead voice of The Temptations, the man who breathed new life into the iconic group with the hit Treat Her Like a Lady and explosive global tours. Behind the powerful performances, Woodson was quietly fighting for his life. He had battled throat cancer for years, enduring multiple surgeries to remove recurring tumors, yet he never stepped away from the stage. In late 2008, severe exhaustion forced him into the hospital. A biopsy delivered devastating news: leukemia, a rare and aggressive blood cancer, especially deadly following prior cancer. For nearly 18 months, his body was drained by relentless chemotherapy and blood transfusions. On May 30, 2010, Ali Woodson passed away in Los Angeles at 58, leaving behind his wife and 2 children. He carried unimaginable pain in silence, choosing devotion to his music until his very last breath. James Ingram, the legendary R&B icon, passed away quietly after a rare and aggressive form of brain cancer. Gifted with a smooth, unmistakable voice, he gave the world timeless hits and unforgettable collaborations with Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, earning 2 Grammy Awards along the way. In late 2018, while the spotlight still shined, his body began to betray him: persistent headaches, overwhelming fatigue, day after day. Months later, the devastating truth emerged. The cancer spread rapidly and without mercy. True to his private nature, James chose silence, even missing the performance of his beloved duet with Patti Austin at Quincy Jones' tribute in September 2018. On January 29, 2019, James Ingram slipped away peacefully, leaving behind deep sorrow for Debbie Allen, his close friends, and millions of fans worldwide. The voice that once breathed soul into heartfelt ballads, part of We Are the World, fell silent, leaving a void in soul music that can never truly be filled. Sharon Jones, the queen of soul funk, rose to late-life glory with a voice that exploded with raw power and truth. As the fearless leader of the Dap Kings, she reignited classic soul worldwide, earning Grammy nominations and critical acclaim. But in June 2013, at the height of her comeback, Jones felt crushing fatigue and noticed jaundice. Tests first pointed to stage 1 bile duct cancer, later corrected to a far more aggressive stage 2 pancreatic cancer. She endured brutal surgery and chemotherapy, delaying her album Give the People What They Want. When she returned, bald and weakened, her voice still burned with fire. In 2015, she revealed the cancer had returned, and after suffering strokes in 2016, Sharon Jones passed away on November 18, surrounded by family and the Dap Kings, leaving behind a legacy of late triumph, unbreakable resilience, and a soul that refused to fade. Dwayne Wade's journey took an unexpected turn off the basketball court. A 3-time NBA champion and Miami Heat icon, Wade built his legacy on speed, toughness, and unforgettable moments. But in late 2023, long after the spotlight faded, his body began sending quiet warnings: dull abdominal pain, weakened urination, and a sense that something wasn't right. With his family still recovering from his father's prostate cancer surgery, concern grew. A full medical checkup revealed the unthinkable: a 3-centimeter tumor on his right kidney. Doctors diagnosed a rare form of stage 1 kidney cancer, uncommon in men under 50 and notoriously hard to detect early. On December 18, 2023, Wade underwent surgery to remove nearly 40% of his right kidney. The tumor was malignant, but caught just in time. The cancer was fully removed, pulling him back from the edge of life and death. Today, Wade speaks not just as a champion, but as a survivor, urging men everywhere to listen to their bodies and never skip regular health checkups. Gregory Hines. A true tap dance legend, Gregory Hines quietly battled liver cancer in silence. Best known for the Cotton Club and White Nights, Hines was a Tony Award-winning performer who revived American tap dance and inspired generations, including Savion Glover. In 2002, at just 56, he began suffering from constant abdominal pain and extreme fatigue, but told almost no one. Only a few close friends knew the truth. Doctors later discovered a rare and aggressive form of liver cancer that progressed rapidly and resisted treatment. Even as his health declined, Hines refused to slow down. He continued working, including recurring roles on Will and Grace, pouring everything he had into his art. The relentless pace took its toll, leading to home nursing care and brief hospital stays. On August 9, 2003, Gregory Hines passed away on the way to a Los Angeles hospital. The world was stunned to learn that the man who reignited tap dance had been seriously ill for over a year, without anyone suspecting a thing. Do you remember Gregory Hines and the impact he had before his passing? Share your memories in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next stories, where we uncover the hidden struggles behind the glamorous lives of Black artists.